Very well to join there. You might need fingers from both hands for this question about your injury situation. What's the latest? Do you want a list, or do you want to go through them one by one?
I almost need a list, but we did not train today with Mateo Kovacic, N'Golo, Ben Chilwell, and Trevoh Chalobah. They're all out for tomorrow, and everybody else is available.
Okay, so that's a first of all on those. That's a big blow, a worrying number of players out.
Yeah, every player is a player too much, but of course there's a lot of midfield players since many days now, for many weeks for Kova, that we miss him, and also Engie, and of course Ben Chilwell is a long one. This is what we know, and for Trevoh we need more examinations to see how bad the injury is.
So for Timo and Jorginho and Reece James, they're all available?
They're available, yeah. In training and available.
West Ham are in the top four at the moment. Is that where they deserve to be, do you think? Is that a true reflection?
They have almost been in the top four last season. They were fighting the whole season for these places. Very, very good team, very good coach, and huge solidarity that they show. It's always a joy to watch their games, because they play with a lot of energy, a lot of positivity in what they are doing. They believe. They did not have too many changes. They play as a team, and they do what they do good. They believe in themselves, and that's why everybody is there where he deserves to be. And in the moment they are on fourth place. They play strong in European competitions. It's a tough match. It's a tough team to play against, but it's also tough to play against us. So it will be an exciting Sunday afternoon, maybe not even afternoon, a 12:30 match on Saturday. So we need to be on our top level to have a chance to win.
And interestingly, listening to Ralph Rangnick's opening news conference, interestingly as well, he says that he turned down the Chelsea job. He was offered a 4-month deal in February. If that was the case, then he'd already been in the job for a couple of weeks, but I think he got the date wrong. Are you surprised that he was offered the job?
So maybe after our draw against Wolverhampton. Maybe the bosses saw the draw against Wolverhampton and thought, no, he does not know what he's doing, so let's bring Ralph in for 4 months and take over. He must have the date wrong, hopefully. Let's say hopefully, and otherwise, well, you know, it's a nice job to have in world football, to be the coach of Chelsea. So you need to be realistic. Of course, if you get the phone call, you should be very aware that you're not the only one getting a phone call. And now I'm here and I'm happy.
Thanks, Gary. John Southall, 5 Live.
Hello, Thomas. How are you?
Hi. Good.
You say you're going to have to be at your top level, but how difficult is it, do you think, to be at your top level at this part of the season? Obviously, you had a tough game the other night. You had Manchester United. You've got a lot of injuries, and now you've got a 12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, it's always another challenge coming. Like you said, we had a very exciting week with Leicester, then Juventus, then Man United. Big names, big challenges, a lot of reward for good performances. Then there was Ballon d'Or selection. Then there was suddenly a Wednesday evening game against a strong and brave and encouraged Watford side who had nothing to lose. So like a lot of distractions, a lot of different approaches to games, and yeah, from Wednesday afternoon to Saturday morning is not. There is simply no time to dream or to lose focus. You need to refocus straight away, and this is what we did. We had already one meeting today in the morning. We will have another one in the evening to prepare our team, because tomorrow is simply no time to do this. Yeah, it is tough. It is sometimes we are fatigued, and sometimes it's stressful. But this is what we want, and this is what we love, and we are in the middle of it.
Aren't we all? Romelu Lukaku, where do you assess where he's at the moment? His performances when he's come on, and is this the time now to start him?
Well, I will not tell you because this is a part of the lineup where I will want the opponents also to know very late who starts for us. He is in training. He wants to start. He's eager to start. And like you asked before, and now it's for the whole team. So how difficult is it to reach always your top level? It's also individual. How difficult is it now for Romelu and for all the other guys who come in after injuries to hit their top level? I honestly don't know exactly, and but we should try always to reach our top level, and maybe the top level is in every match different. Watford caused us a lot of problems, for example, so we needed to focus on not to allow too many chances, too many big chances, and it was more a mental game to hang in there and not get too frustrated, and still wait for the chances to be clinical and escape with a win. And tomorrow will be new questions. It's a completely new team. We will have some changes again, and from there we go. But we believe in what we do, and we are full of confidence. And it's a tough one for the whole team and for Romelu if he starts or comes from the bench.
And just a final one on Ralf Rangnick. You spoke about him briefly there. Have you spoken to him since he took the job? And if you have, or maybe you haven't, what advice would you give him about managing in the Premier League?
No, I haven't spoken to him. If I spoke to him, I would simply tell him my congratulations, but no advice. Nobody needs advice, and nobody needs advice from me. I have enough to do to get our things going in the right direction, and this is where the focus is. And every situation is different. Everybody does it his own way, so he can prove himself now in a very big club and in the biggest league.
Charlotte.
Hi Thomas.
Hi.
You spoke about obviously your lack of midfield options, and I know you said after the game against Watford that you were thinking of playing Saul in that left wing back role. Is that something that you've worked on in training with him, and do you think that role might even suit him a little bit better than in midfield, given that he's still adapting to the Premier League?
Yeah, he's still adapting, and he had a yellow card, an early yellow card, and was a bit shy to play all in the duels, and for that we lacked a bit of physicality because he did not want to risk a red card, which was a good thing on that evening, not to be one man down. I think that he could play in a wing-back role for us, like even if we play like a dominant game and an offensive game, because he's very strong in arriving in the opponent's box, very strong in finishing, and has a good timing to arrive also on second post with a head. We sometimes do this in training. That's why we have the impression that he could maybe a good fit, and maybe in the next games we have to try it. Simply have to try it because Chile is out long term, and a lot of games are coming, and we can maybe not put every game on Marco's shoulders.
And Hakim Ziyech, I interviewed him yesterday. He said he feels 100% fully fit again, and he's hoping to start more games. He has been increasingly influential in recent weeks, hasn't he? Are you ready to start him in more matches, particularly where you've got so many games coming up?
Yeah, always. I like him. I can feel it, that he feels better now. It took him a long time. He was always very ambitious with his shoulder injury, but I could feel that it's the 100% he could give are not the 100% of his top level. Now he feels much better, and I can feel it. He smiles, he's happy, he's decisive. He had huge influence now from the bench against Leicester and in Watford. He had 2 matches in between, I think, from the start, Juventus and Man United. He's in a good shape. He's in good form, in good state of mind, and we want him absolutely to be influential. But I will not tell you if he starts tomorrow or comes from the bench.
The last question in the broadcast, Nick Pure.
Hi Thomas, just on obviously having Reece, James and Jorginho available, how pivotal is that given the other injuries you've got? It's massive, isn't it, to just sort of ease the load on the squad?
Yeah, it's massive because Reece is the specialist on the side, and Shorshi is the guy left from Kova, Engie, and him from the three on whose shoulders we put the central role, like over a very long period now. I'm absolutely happy that Ruben steps in the way he does it. But yeah, we are happy that Shorshi is back in training, and we can't wait that Kova and Engie come back, because it is a very important part of not only of the season but in our games, and it is the midfield role where we miss of course the experience and the leadership qualities of the guys who are out. But for that, it's good that they are back. And listen, we will never complain, because we are here to find solutions. And if we miss players, other players will play, and they have a contract here because they deserve. And this is what we do. And we'll have a strong team on the pitch on tomorrow. And we had a strong team on the pitch against Watford. And we are used to have some changes in between, and this is where we go.